Hello and welcome to Game Patrol, episode 8. Should be 9, but I'm an idiot. So let's just address the absence of the podcast last week. It's because I'm an idiot. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you will have already known this. If you didn't know this and you're like, where was my favorite podcast in the universe last week? Well, follow me on Twitter maybe and you'll find out like a lot faster. But anyway, I was dumb and I did not realize that my mic wasn't on, and so it was when I was editing, like I put in the video file to extract the audio to then upload as the podcast while I was uploading the YouTube version. I realized there was no audio and I was like, what? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh gosh. So I never turn my mic on. So I set a reminder in my phone for this week to be like, make sure your mic's on. And I triple checked. I see that there is movement with the audio right now. So there is audio. I'm really upset. So, instead of trying to re-record the podcast or do anything else, I was like, it's okay. There is no written law saying I have to upload every single week, Instead of just overthinking everything and stressing out about it, I just was like, no podcast this week. But that means we're going to have a super big podcast today because, I mean, for the most part, I don't want to go over a bunch of stuff that happened last week because it's old news now. But there are some important things I'd like to talk about, and I did say I was going to talk about Darksiders Genesis, and I am going to talk about that again for myself. But for you guys, it's the first time. I'm also going to talk about Dreams because I wanted to have a really in-depth discussion on Dreams today, but I have had zero time to play that game this entire week. I have not played it since the 17th or something like that. I'm so upset about it because I've had no time. I've only played one game this week, and that's ridiculous for me. That is ridiculous. I've been so busy this week, but I'm really happy right now. On a personal note, I think this might be the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I don't know. If it's not, it's one of the most. And the reason that I say one of is just because it has been such a busy week. And, not everything's perfect. But, I'm just in a really good place in my life right now. And it's kind of hard. I would probably be more expressive about it. But I'm really, really tired because of A, being busy. And B, I give plasma, so I recently did that, and I think because of the sleep deprivation, I'm just really fatigued right now. And so, but since I do enjoy making this podcast so much, I don't think that'll translate too much into the podcast. I'm usually a pretty energetic guy. I love talking about this stuff, so hopefully that won't be an issue here. But yeah, I'm pretty fatigued, and also my hair is all over the place. I need to get a haircut because it has now reached the point where it just does its own thing. I think instead of trying to be professional with it, we're just gonna let it do its own thing. So you people on YouTube are having a fun time right now looking at what's going on over here. But yeah. So sorry, I got a text on my phone and it distracted me. But I'm doing really well. I'm really happy in my life. I've done a lot of self-reflection. I've done a lot of, I've made some important life decisions. I've done a lot. And so the past couple weeks have been a big change for me in what I've been doing in my life. And I'm really happy, There's still some stuff that I'm working through, but for the most part, I'm really, really happy right now. And so compared to the past 2 months of just slog and I don't even know what to call it. It's a really nice change of pace. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very tired, but I'm happy. So last thing I want to talk about before we get into this week's podcast, I announced it last week, but obviously you didn't hear about it because podcast didn't exist. But I'm doing something new. It's not going to start next week, and then it just depends on whether or not I get any takers. But like I said, I'm constantly trying to improve the podcast. I'm trying to make it the best it possibly can. And so because of that, I have come up with a system of how I want to incorporate co-hosts into this podcast because it is difficult for me. I would love to have 4 people on here a week, including myself. So to have 3 other people on this podcast every week, that'd be really, really dope. But I don't have a team. I don't have people around me that are as passionate about video games as I am, and so it makes it really difficult. I can't really do that. And so I was trying to think of how I wanted to incorporate this, because it's not always fun to listen to one guy ramble on for over an hour. You know, it's nice to have diverse opinions and that sort of thing. And so it's something I really, really wanted. I just wasn't sure how to incorporate. And so this is what I'm trying out. This is what I'm going to do. So like I said, not for next week, because I want some time to like plan this stuff out. But I'm looking for guest co-hosts. And how that's going to work is, if you are really passionate about video games, this is for anybody, literally anybody. If you are passionate about video games, and it doesn't have to be about all of gaming, if you are really passionate about something, like something specific, some specific topic or segment, like what I do, like today I'll be doing a segment on Darksiders and a segment on Dreams and a segment on the game streaming. And so if you have some, or if you're really passionate about a topic of like that scope, and you really want to, you know, come on this podcast, the thing is, there are some restrictions. One is sort of that, you know, you need to be a little knowledgeable. You don't need to be some expert, but, you know something about what you're talking about. B, you need to be in the area. So I've mentioned I'm in Indianapolis. Just generally, you need to come to me, or you need to be close enough that I can come to you. So, you know, I'm pretty comfortable with Indiana, depending on, you know, like how important you are to the, like if you have like a really cool opinions and really cool thoughts, I might be able to come to you. You coming to me would probably be really nice, because then we have this podcast studio to work with. But if that's not possible, I can come to you within reason. But I want to record it in-house. I have thought about, like, you know, having people over the internet, but then that requires a lot of scheduling, and that requires good internet access, which I'm in the basement of the communications building right now. I don't know how good the Wi-Fi is down here. And also, it's just, it affects the audio quality, and I want good stuff for you guys. And so I want everything to be in-house. And so that's why I'm doing that. So yeah, you need to be somewhat in the vicinity, and you need to know what you're talking about to an extent. You need to be willing to be on camera and like talk for a podcast and stuff like that. And so if that's something you are interested in, please let me know. And this isn't a one-time thing. You know, if you have a lot of cool stuff you want to talk about, we can do it multiple episodes, all sorts of really cool things. But I think this is my best option for having co-hosts, and I think it'll be really cool. Hopefully I can get some takers on it. There's a friend of mine who's wanted to join the podcast, and so I feel like he will definitely come on a few times. There's some things that he's really interested in, specifically Dreams, but I don't know how relevant that's going to be soon. You know what I mean? Like, it depends. But yeah, I'm really excited. And so yeah, let me know. So the ways you can contact me, I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, or if you are listening on Spotify, you can head over to this YouTube video and comment below. Give me some contact info, that sort of thing. Let me know. Give me your pitch. My Twitter, at Plumley_Landon, PLUMLEY_LANDON. That's probably the best way to contact me, because I'm always on it. And so you could email me at myname@gmail.com. Yeah, those are the best way to get in contact with me. Like I said, give me your pitch. What are you offering? And then I can discuss things further with you if I deem it appropriate. But yeah, let me know, because I'd love to have some different people on here, have some different opinions, that sort of thing. Be really cool. And so, and then sort of like I said, I would record that little segment and then just sort of like clip it in to this week's. But I wouldn't record an entire podcast with them, because, you know, they might not be knowledgeable about everything gaming. So that's not something I'm requiring of you. We just record a little segment, and I would then edit it into the current podcast. So that's how it would work. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that, and hopefully we get some cool takers on that sort of thing. But getting into the games coming this week, we had some games coming last week, but I'm not going to talk about that. However, probably the big one is Wasteland Remastered. It just came out a couple days ago. Really cool. It's on Game Pass, so if you have that, check into it. I kind of want to myself, but seeing as how busy I am, I've probably given up on it. But I would like to before Wasteland 3 comes out, because I am going to be playing Wasteland 3, so I'd like to play Remastered just to sort of see what it's all about. Plus, I love the Fallout games, and it's literally what inspired the Fallout games, so, you know, I want to play it. But first off, tomorrow, we've got a bunch of games coming tomorrow. Let's start off with Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. The only synopsis I have is triumph over the land, take charge of the fate of China, conquer territories, and fly your colors. I really don't know much about this game. There's very little known about it on the interwebs, but it's a game that came out in Japan and is now being localized. It's for PS4. I forget if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. It's on PC right now, but it's getting like an English dub tomorrow. So it's kind of releasing on PC tomorrow. You can technically get it now. It just would not be in English. So yeah. Yeah, I honestly have nothing more to say about it. I really don't know what it is. I don't even know the genre, to be perfectly honest with you. And next up, we got One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. So this is really cool. It's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The first One Punch Man game finally makes its debut. Dive into a dynamic fighting game experience with beloved characters from the first season of One Punch Man. Play as your favorite hero or become one. So from what I've seen, this looks like your stereotypical video game, anime video game, fighting game. Yeah, I mean, we rarely see a really high quality anime game, and that's sad. So I don't really have that high of hopes for this, but it's been generating some buzz. If you're a huge One Punch fan, go ahead. And like, I'm not trashing on it because I love My Hero Academia, but I won't touch My Hero One's Justice, and I probably won't touch the second one that's coming out like next week or something like that. It's like March 13th, I think, because it's probably not going to be good. And that really sucks because I love My Hero Academia and I love video games, and so it's perfect. But, you know, they just don't have a good track record. That's all I'm saying. Next, we got Metro Redux for Nintendo Switch tomorrow. This is a really cool one. And if I already didn't own it on like 2 other systems, I might pick it up. So immerse yourself in the Moscow Metro. Witness one of the most atmospheric worlds in gaming brought to life on Nintendo Switch. Brave the horrors of the Russian apocalypse. Equip your gas mask and an arsenal of handmade weaponry as you face the threat of deadly mutants, human foes, and the terrifying environment itself. 2 campaigns and all DLC included. Metro Redux includes 2 complete campaigns that combine to create 1 solo adventure, plus a further 10 hours of bonus content. 2 unique playstyles, Spartan and Survival. Approach the campaign as a slow burn, survival horror, or tackle it with the combat skills of a Spartan Ranger in these 2 unique modes. The legendary Ranger mode returns. Dare you play the fearsome Ranger mode? No HUD, UI, deadlier combat, and limited resources combine to create the ultimate immersive experience. So yeah, it's another really cool port coming to Switch. You know, while we have a string of no news whatsoever from Nintendo, this is nice. So if you're into survival horror games that look really, really pretty, and you can take it on the go, yeah, I think this is really cool. So if you haven't picked up Metro Redux yet, I think, and you own a Switch, go ahead. It's getting really good reviews so far, so there doesn't seem to be any glaring issues with the Switch port from what I hear. So yeah, I think this is a safe bet for your money if you're interested. And they're also really good games. I have all 3. I have 2033, Last Light, and Exodus. So they're really good. They're really good. Then also tomorrow we've got Blood Roots for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, as well as PC. In Blood Roots, the world is your weapon. Improvise and adapt to an ever-changing ballet of ultra-violence in a bloody revenge quest across the Weird West. So this is a cool little darling indie game that's been generating a fair amount of hype. So I've heard good things about it. It sounds like it's really cool. So if you're into some cool indie experiences, Blood Roots might be your jam. So yeah, that's coming out tomorrow for a bunch of different platforms. So that's super cool. And then on Tuesday, we have Grand Blue Fantasy Versus for PS4. Take the fight to new heights on the PS4. Legendary fighting game studio Arc System Works and Cygames team up to bring the Grand Blue Fantasy universe, that's a tongue twister, to the home console in head-to-head fighter. That's not grammatically correct. Okay, well, it's an anime fighter. That's all you need to know. If you're a fan of it, you're gonna get it. If not, you know, probably no reason to care about it. So that's all the games coming out. Well, not all, but those are the notable ones. Some of them I question their notability, but that's what we got. Now on to the gaming news of the week. So there are a couple things from last week I do want to briefly talk about, but I will get to those last. We're gonna talk about the big things now, and that is that we are getting a Samurai Jack video game. Like, I freaked out about this. I was like, what? It's been, wasn't it like 2018 when season 5 came out? Like they just randomly released a new season of Samurai Jack. That was awesome. And so to see a video game getting announced that's coming this year, I think. It's announced for PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch. I don't know why I'm questioning myself because I have an article pulled up here. This summer, yeah. So it's coming relatively soon. Saw some screenshots. Again, it looks kind of like stereotypical video game that's based off of an animated show. So that moves me a little bit, but it's Samurai Jack. So like, I'm hoping, because that'd be super cool. It's exciting. However, I'm getting total like Legend of Korra vibes from the gameplay, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So, but I'm excited to see if it is good, because if it's good, heck yeah, Samurai Jack, let's go. Keep it coming. Season 6, please. Like I said, I think it was the 5th one that aired. I don't actually know. I don't remember. But yeah. Then the big one. Xbox Series X has some specs now. We know officially what is in this box. Sort of. We know some of the stuff that's in this box. So it has been confirmed to have 12 teraflops of GPU power. It supports backwards compatibility back to original Xbox games. However, I'm going to clarify that because this article does not. I mean, it does later on, but I do want to clarify. It does not play every Xbox game ever made. So what it does is you can play every Xbox One game ever made. And then it supports all the backwards compatible games for that were on the Xbox One of the 360 and the original Xbox. So you can't whip out Rock Band on the Series X. It'd be so cool if you could, but as of this recording, you cannot. So yeah, just want to clarify that. Also, it includes hardware accelerated ray tracing. It supports up to 120 frames per second. And supports quick resume for multiple games simultaneously, up to 3. I don't know how much that's going to be used. I can see 2, because you have like your daily multiplayer game that you do your daily matches, and then you switch over to whatever else you're playing. But 3, I don't know if I'd have 3 at the same time, and I rarely think I'll use the 2. I rarely just use suspension anyway. I play a game, and then when I'm done, I shut it off, and that's just sort of how I do. But it's nice that this is a thing. Also a big thing, they are going to do smart delivery. This is a new system they're introducing, which is really, really cool and kind of is like okay, your move, Sony. So essentially with smart delivery, no matter what system you purchased a game on, if there's an upgraded version of it, as long as the developers work with Xbox to do this, it will automatically be upgraded to the best possible version. For example, Cyberpunk 2077 comes out this September for current gen consoles. When the Series X upgrade releases, your Xbox One copy will automatically be updated to that graphical fidelity and all of that stuff. It'll be upgraded to the Series X version free of charge, no cost, which means if Rockstar wanted to jump on this, you could pop in your GTA 5. I don't know if GTA 5 is backwards compatible for Xbox, but if it is, you could pop in your Xbox 360 disc of GTA 5 and it would run with a Series X patch if they were to do that, or at least it would run with an Xbox One quality, because it will automatically update it to the newest version. Again, this depends on developer. What's the word I'm thinking of? Developer cooperation. There we go. But they did confirm it would be available for all first-party games. So you can pop in your disc of the Halo Master Chief Collection, and it would upgrade to the best version possible for that, and so on and so forth, which is really, really cool, because I think it's going to be a big factor just for games in general. It'll save consumers a lot of money, because I think this puts pressure on the third-party developers to do it, because they will look bad if they don't. Now, I think there are going to be plenty of developers who don't do this, especially ones porting, remastering games from semi a while ago. I don't think we're going to see too many developers remaster Xbox One games for Xbox Series X and then not participate in this. I think it'll be more for 360 PS3 era games, where I could see them do it and just be we don't we want to make money off of this. And so, but this is really cool. It puts, like I said, it puts pressure on developers. So I think it'll save us a lot of money. We won't see too many sloppy remasters, but that also then becomes, you know, if the devs won't put as much effort into it now that it's not going, they won't get any money from it. Potentially, they'll probably make some, but not nearly as much. But it's really cool. I think this is a really cool move from Xbox, and it kind of forces Sony to take a similar approach. If they haven't already, I feel like we'll have something similar come to PS5, because this is a really cool thing. So that's honestly what I'm really excited about, is that aspect. But as far as the 12 teraflops, if we want to get into rumors and like that sort of thing, the rumor that said that the Series X had 12 teraflops was also the one that said the PS5 had 9 teraflops. So if that whole rumor was to be believed, then it seems like the Series X is going to be substantially more powerful than the PS5. We'll see. I don't know. But that's exciting. And so I was listening to this podcast where they were discussing this and discussing what they think Lockhart will be, the Series S, whatever, you know, the cheaper toned down version is going to be in terms of teraflops. A lot of them were guessing like 7, just to, like, you know, be better than the 1X, but also really cut the cost. I think they could do 9, because it's a nice mid ground, you know? You could pay $300 for the Xbox One X. I'm just guessing that will be the price. I don't really know like what they're going to mark down the One X this fall, but let's say the One X is $300. The Series X is $450, and the I said Series S, right? And the Series X is $600. Like, I like that, you know? I'd be down for that. So, but that's all speculation. That's just what I think. And then, you know, then we could see PS5 going for $450 as well, or maybe $500. It'd be real nice if they both had 9 teraflops and the PS5 went for $500 and the Xbox Series S for $450. That'd be dope. But again, all speculation. I'm just spitballing here. None of it has any factual support whatsoever, except for the fact that the Series X will have 12 teraflops and all of the specs that I just talked about. So that's cool. That's really cool. Next up, Baldur's Gate 3 will release in early access later this year. Just like the past few games that Larian Studios has made, that's how it's going to be. So, you know, just like the Divinity games. So later this year, it'll come out in early access. It'll be interesting to see how that works with Stadia, because Stadia has not had an early access game ever. So, be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how that works, how Google Stadia handles that. I don't think they would have any special thing for it, to be honest. It's not that big a deal nowadays. Apparently for PlayStation it is, but not really for anybody else. So, yeah, not much to say about that. There was an Animal Crossing Direct. To be perfectly honest with you, you know, I didn't glean a whole lot from it. I was really upset. I said in last week's podcast that doesn't exist, that I was, you know, I was for sure that they were going to throw something in at the end there, but they didn't. I'm kind of upset about it. You know, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm still upset. You know, it was just Animal Crossing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm super excited for Animal Crossing. Like, it's just a super relaxing game. They're going to have dynamic seasons and day-night cycles. And, you know, it's just super great. And there's a lot of cool stuff. And it's just super nice because there's really no consequences to your actions besides debt. And yeah, it's nice. I'm very excited to just relax and play Animal Crossing in between my demon slaying sessions with Doom Eternal. So, but I really wish there was something else in that Direct, so I really don't have much to say about it. I was a little disappointed, but like, go Animal Crossing, watch the Direct if you haven't and you're interested in Animal Crossing, or if you're not interested in Animal Crossing, because it'll probably make you interested in Animal Crossing because it's an amazing game. So I just wish there was something else. Also, HTC has announced a cheaper and more expensive version of the Vive Cosmos. Essentially, they kind of made it to where they separate them by faceplates. And so you can get a really cool faceplate for like better tracking for more money, or you can get a really dumbed down faceplate for cheaper money. And so they've introduced new variants on the Vive Cosmos. My friend actually just recently got a Vive Cosmos, and that's how I'm going to play Half-Life Alyx. So I'm very excited. Yeah, so that's a cool thing. I'm very excited. Yeah, so this is the thing. Again, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. And then a couple big things from last week. One of this, it doesn't seem like it's that big a deal. I think it's a big deal though, because it says a lot about the game and it's more next gen news. Rainbow Six Siege has been confirmed to release on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So they said that they are shooting for the console launch, but no firm release date has been given. Probably because the consoles haven't been like confirmed release date themselves, but that's what they said they're shooting for. And so this just speaks a lot. Like, this game's been out for 5 years and they're bringing it to a new console instead of, you know, making a sequel out of it. And like, that's kind of cool, you know, because in a society where you have very money hungry developers out there, not all of them, just you have developers like that. And to see Ubisoft continue to support this game rather than just to make a sequel and charge another $60 plus, you know, throughout all the development and everything. Overwatch 2. It's cool to see them continue to support it. And they're going to have cross-gen play. So they announced that would be a thing. And I think I might get back into Siege with that. I think that'll be because I've wanted to get back into Siege because I did not play it hardly at all. And there's just so much there now. But I have friends who play. It's just really cool. So I think this might be an excuse for me to jump into Rainbow Six again. Because it's really cool and I really like it. And the Quarantine game is coming out. So that could be cool. This could be my Tom Clancy renaissance. I still need to play Breakpoint. I have it, but I haven't played much of it. But, yeah. Also, the big boy. Half-Life Alyx has a confirmed release. We had a March window, but now it is officially coming March 23rd. And so I want to clarify how flippin' busy March is. So I'm just going to list off the games. There's probably some more, but these are just the games that I 100% want to purchase. I don't want to say that I will play because at this point it's so much money. I don't know if I legitimately can. But March 11th is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I get that with Game Pass. That's great. You know, I don't have to spend anything on it. 2 days later, Neo 2 comes out. There's $60. A week later, Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal comes out. We're at $180 already. And then 3 days later, Half-Life Alyx comes out. So we're at roughly $230 because it's on sale right now. Then the next day, Bleeding Edge comes out, which is another Game Pass game, so I don't have to spend money on that. But we're spending over $200 on video games in March, and all of them come out really, really close together. And so I'm going to be very busy, and my grades are going to drop like flies. And so I'm very excited for March, though. But, like, gah. So I have 3 days to beat Doom, essentially. That's the bottom line. And could I do it? Maybe. But it's my God. So, yeah, that's the thing. March 23rd. Very excited. And so now we're going to get into our main topics. So I honestly might, just because my throat is not the greatest. I really hope everybody, all my friends have gotten sick this past week. And I have not. I have a really strong immune system, knock on wood. But so I don't get sick very often. However, I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. I'm around very sick people. I'm literally a breeding ground for bacteria and sickness and disease. So, like, I'm trying to take care of myself here. I had plans to stay up late with my roommate tonight, but there's no way that's happening at this point. I want to go to bed. I have stuff to do after this. Like, yeah. It's a fatigue, I'm telling you. But, you know, this might not end up being a huge episode because I'm really trying to, like, wrap this up as quickly as I can. Even though I love this, I'm also very, very tired. So let's get into Darksiders Genesis. It's been a minute since I've played it, so these might be some outdated things, but geez, I'm really not feeling this right now. That makes me really sad. That really does. I think I might go into it more next week, but Darksiders Genesis is really fun. Bottom line, if you really love Darksiders, you will love this game. I think this is for Darksiders fans. To call it a Diablo game is kind of not accurate. It has the Diablo design and like the Diablo aesthetic, but it very much plays like a Darksiders game. And so they've coded in a lot of the same moves that War has. They've, it just feels like a hack and slash game disguised as a Diablo game. And so I really think it's a little misleading to call it a Diablo game, because it's really not. It's really a Darksiders game, just 2D. And so I think the best way of describing it was people compare Darksiders to a mature themed Zelda game. And so it's like a 2D Zelda game in that regard. So it's really cool. If you really love Darksiders, you will enjoy it. I think it's really fun. The dialogue is pretty bad. It's really cheesy, but other than that, like, it plays well. It's fun. It's entertaining. The bosses are challenging. The difficulties, it's there. So it's really fun, and I really want to play some more. Hopefully, I can. It's just so busy. But yeah, I might play it this weekend, because I'm gonna be away this weekend, and I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time, but I won't have my consoles with me. So I think I might jump into this, since with Google Stadia, I don't need a console. I am not sponsored, but I am open to it. So, also, I would totally love to see a sequel to this game. Like, I haven't beaten it, so I can't say for certain, like, how it ends or anything, but I'd love to see another game in this style. Because I think if they add some more polish to it, it'll be, like, really, really amazing for, like, anybody, not just Darksiders fans. Because the stuff is there, and I'd like to see them take more risks and things like that with Darksiders. I think this was really, really cool to kind of experiment with the formula a little bit, but still keep the heart of Darksiders, because they did a really good job of that. And so, yeah, and this is like, yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I really recommend it. So if you've been hesitant, I think you will enjoy it. If you enjoy Darksiders, you will enjoy this game. That's what I'm gonna say. That's where we're gonna leave it. Then we're gonna talk about Dreams. I don't know why I sounded so, like, upset. Dreams is amazing. I mean, everybody's talking about it. It's amazing. Get it. Really, it's like, at this point, I feel like I don't really offer anything unique based off of what everybody said. Just watch the reviews. I feel like they'll be more comprehensive than I ever can be with Dreams, at least at this stage. I think I can talk more about it later once I get more time with the game, which I really want to, but I just haven't. It is unlike anything I have ever experienced in gaming. It is revolutionary. It is absolutely spectacular. I cannot stress enough. If you own a PS4, you need to purchase this game. If anything, it's just a wealth of content. For $40, that value is astronomically low. Like, that is an insane deal. $40 for essentially YouTube for gaming. And then you can create stuff. You can learn, you can grow, you can work with other people. It's really, really good. And so, rather than me ramble on about what I think Dreams is, I think it's just better if you were to watch some professional reviews of Dreams, of people who've played it longer than I have, can give you a better thing, and just get it yourself if you have a PlayStation 4. I think everyone who owns a PS4 needs to own this game. I really do. Like, more than God of War, more than... I mean, don't get me wrong, I think everybody should with that too, but if I had to pick one game for someone to own on the PS4, it would be Dreams. That says a lot, because there's a lot of good games on the PS4, but get Dreams, because I think this is one of the most revolutionary things to happen in gaming history. I really do. I do not say that lightly. And I'll get more into that, I think, in the future once I have some more time with the game. And like I said, I can offer some more substantial opinions, because I think most of what I can talk about now has already been said elsewhere, and so I don't think I provide anything super unique in that regard. And for sake of time, I will glance by it. This really is not going to be a big episode, because I've already burned through 2 of the big topics. I thought it was going to be huge, because I had 3 when I usually would have 1. But this next one is super interesting to me. Maybe not super interesting to most people, but getting more into the streaming wars, as I like to call it, because Google's been making some moves with Stadia, and Nvidia has been making some moves in the other direction. Not their fault, but yeah, so there's a lot of new information. First off, GeForce Now has now lost Bethesda games, as well as Activision Blizzard games, with the exception of Wolfenstein Youngblood, as it is one of the few RTX games, and so I assume they brokered a deal with Bethesda to keep that. But it came out recently that the reason for GeForce Now losing the Activision Blizzard games was because in the contract they had with them, it was not specified that they keep the agreement after they leave beta. So then once they did, Activision Blizzard backed out for reasons not known. And so, you know, it wasn't a breach of contract. You know, the contract technically ran out, and I guess they chose not to do anything, like not to keep their games on there. And so presumably Bethesda had a similar reaction. So that's really upsetting because I like Doom. I like to play Doom on there. So it's upsetting. They're losing a lot of their big games. Skyrim, Doom, Overwatch. It's a little upsetting. But yeah, it says a lot about like why do these companies want to back out, you know? It makes me, I really want to know the logistics behind what these developers are gaining from GeForce Now and what GeForce Now is giving them, what GeForce is getting from them, that sort of thing. I really would like to know more about the logistics, and so I hope we do find out soon about that because it's really interesting me. And interest? I don't think that's grammar. It interests me a lot. I'd like to know more, but you know, lots of secrets in the video game industry. So who knows? But that's kind of bad. Meanwhile, Stadia has been popping off. I really should have prepared articles about this beforehand, but I did not. But that's interesting. Yeah, Stadia's announced a lot of new things, such as support for a bunch of new phones. I'm gonna have to scroll back because this was something that I talked about last week, but obviously did not happen. Which happened first? I want to talk about this in the right order, but it looks like this one thing happened first, and I just didn't want to talk about it. Yeah, I really didn't want to talk about it. That's annoying. So first off, they announced 5 new games coming to Stadia. Some of them are really big, and some of them are cool little indie darlings. So first up is, hold on, I'm just going to open up the article. I was looking at the picture here, but that's probably not the best thing. So I'm going to pull up the actual article. But let's see here. The first one is Lost Worlds Beyond the Page, which is a game that they're calling first on Stadia. So it will launch on Stadia before going to other platforms, which is cool. So that is supposed to be coming soon. I don't think we have any sort of release date. Then we are getting a remake of Panzer Dragoon, which I think was already announced, if I remember correctly. It's just also coming to Stadia soon. And then the Serious Sam collection, which includes the first encounter, the second encounter, and Serious Sam 3, including the Legend of the Beast and Jewel of the Nile expansion. So all that is coming very soon, which is exciting because Serious Sam 3 is a really good looking game, and so I'm interested to see how that looks on Stadia. Even though it's pretty old, it's a good looking game. And so I've also never played the original Serious Sam games. I've only played 3. So I might have to pick that up. That's really cool. Also, we're getting Stacks on Stacks in parentheses. And so it's a 3D tower builder that's coming soon. I think it's another first on Stadia. And then we got another first on Stadia, which actually just came out already. It's called Spitlings. And so it's a cool little multiplayer party game, little indie darling. So yeah, 5 new games got announced for Stadia, and they're supposedly coming soon. Well, we already know Spitlings is out now, so that's really cool. Then we've got new phones that Stadia is supporting. So they're all Android, no iOS yet, but they now support the Galaxy S8, Galaxy S8 Plus, S8 Active, Note 8, S9, S9 Plus, Note 9, S10, S10e, S10 Plus, Note 10, Note 10 Plus, S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra, as well as the Razer Phone, Razer Phone 2, and Asus ROG Phone and Asus ROG Phone 2. So that brings it up to more than 20 different Android phones that just got started last week. So, you know, if you hadn't heard or are interested, that is really cool. And that's a really cool new thing that's going on. And so Stadia is making some moves. And then one more thing, I think it was just today. No, it was yesterday. 2 days ago for you guys. 3 games are going to be free on Stadia Pro next month, including a couple games that got announced as well. So we're getting Grid for free, which I'm excited about because that's one of the better looking games on Stadia, as well as SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Quest. So they just recently announced, let me find the article about it. They recently announced that SteamWorld Dig, SteamWorld Dig 2, and SteamWorld Heist, as well as SteamWorld Quest, are all coming to Stadia soon. I don't believe there's any release date. However, seeing as 2 of these games are going to be free on March 1st, they will either launch right before or on March 1st. At the very least, SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Quest will. I would assume the others would come as well, but there's a possibility they don't. But I'm looking through here. It says coming soon, so it's not. Yeah, will be available. Those will be available soon, so maybe they might not launch by March 1st. If I've learned anything, it's not to assume jack with Google Stadia. But, this is really cool. They're doing cool new things. I would like better for them to, release features. But this is really cool, too. They're expanding their library. That's 8 new games coming. Hopefully soon. They said soon, so see if they stick to that. And 3 new games next month for free. So I think I counted, and I'm up to I think 12 games that I own on Stadia. I've bought in a few, and then I've gotten just a lot of free ones. And so 3 more. Heck yeah, I'm going to own the whole Stadia library because of this Pro subscription. And it's also nice because now that we're actually paying for it, I mean, we technically paid for it before because we bought into the Founders or Premier Edition, but we're paying a subscription for it. So seeing that we're getting 3 games now, that's cool. That's cool. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And it's a step in the right direction for Stadia. I don't think this does not really change a whole lot for me because I'm still really upset at Stadia for just whatever that launch was. And there's a lot that is not there that really should have been. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. And so we're seeing some good development with Stadia, some bad development with GeForce and Jack Squad. Actually, xCloud did have some stuff recently. They've opened up to iOS now. So the xCloud beta, you can do that. I heard that Halo is the only game you can play on there, but it works well. Still only at 720p. But it's cool things. I'm excited because there's a lot of competition now with the streaming services, and so I think that will push. I think GeForce Now has pushed Stadia to do these things, and so I think that it is kind of a response to GeForce Now, and it's pretty good success. I wish people knew about it more because Stadia has had this huge marketing campaign, and GeForce Now has had very little marketing whatsoever, and it's really, really good, and I wish that it got the recognition it deserved. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Man, this went way shorter than I thought it was going to be. And it's really, this is actually going to be a short episode because I only played Borderlands 3 this week. So as far as the games I'm playing, it was just that. I got it last week for $5 because it was on sale for $25 at Best Buy. I had $20 of service credit. So I was like, let's run it. And so I got it for $5. It was something I've been wanting to play for a while. But more importantly, my old roommate loves Borderlands, and he's one of my best friends in the whole world, and he's been wanting to play Borderlands 3, but we've both been broke, and so we didn't get it when it came out, and so I surprised him with it, and so we've been playing it a lot over the past week. Yeah, it's really fun. It's fun. So that's the only game I've played, and it's because I play with him, and so I try to make time because I know he really wants to play it. And so otherwise I probably might not have played any games this week because it's been so much and I'm so tired. And yeah, I think I am going to cut it short this week because I'm so tired and I want to get all this stuff done. I think I might be leaving campus tomorrow night to go away for a little bit. Good reasons, not bad. That sounded like ominously like I'm sick or something or depressed. Nah, I'm good. A fun trip, personal reasons. Jeez, the more I talk, the more I put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, I got stuff to work on. I got a project I got to work on. I've got caffeine to put in my body. I need to get some caffeine, but I've already drank coffee today, and that doesn't sound good. And I swore off pop for Lent, and I miss it so much already. It's literally Ash Wednesday for me, and I miss pop so much. And I just keep going through. I need Gatorade. I'm gonna get Gatorade. But there's none on this stupid campus besides the fountains. That's annoying. I shouldn't say stupid campus. It's not a stupid campus, but there are some things that irk me. But now I'm rambling. So I think that's it for this podcast. I'm getting shorter and shorter. Am I falling out of love with this podcast? The answer is no. I'm just sleep deprived, and so it's really hard to muster up the energy to talk. I'm still a little salty about having messed up the podcast last week. yeah, not gonna lie, irks me a little bit. And I think I really am tired, and so I really hope that this project does not take me long, and I can get to bed at a decent time tonight. So I gotta get up semi-early tomorrow. I'm gonna upload the podcast, and I swear if there's something wrong with this podcast episode, I'm looking at myself, I can see myself, I can hear myself. I mean, I can't hear myself, but I can see there's audio going through the system. Thank you guys for listening. It really means a lot. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't end it here because it's only been 45 minutes, but I really, like I said, I'm really tired, and so to bring you guys quality, I figure, I shouldn't force it out when it's not there. It's kind of been a slower news week. We've gotten a couple really good things, but then it's been like dead silence. March will be the cool thing. So, and that'll be another thing. Next week's going to be really fun because it will be March, and so we will do a February review and March outlook. Spoiler alert: the best game was Dreams, and so yeah, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to talk more about Dreams next week, and like I said, I'll talk about what we're looking forward to in March. I've already talked about a lot of it, but a lot of cool things. So thank you guys for listening, or watching, or I don't think I have any announcements or anything like that. There's probably something I'm forgetting about, but I'll see you guys next week.